Have you ever had this experience? You are listening to someone speaking English and you understand them. You watch an English video and you understand most of it. You read an English sentence and you know exactly what it means. But then, someone asks you a simple question in English and suddenly, nothing. Your mind goes blank. You know the answer. You know what you want to say, but you cannot find the English words quickly enough. Maybe you start thinking in your own language. Then you translate your thought into English. Then you think about the grammar. Then you check your pronunciation. And by the time you are ready to speak, the moment is gone. Does this sound familiar? If yes, don't worry. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not bad at English. You are not too old to learn English. And you don't need to memorize thousands of new words before you can speak. The real problem may be the way your brain is using English. You may have learned to understand English, but you haven't trained your brain to use English automatically. And today, we are going to start changing that. In this lesson, I want to help you take one very important step. I want you to start thinking in English. Not complicated English, not perfect English, just simple, everyday English. Because when you learn to connect your thoughts directly to English, speaking becomes easier. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are sitting in your room. You look at your phone. You want to say, "This is my phone." But instead of thinking directly in English, your brain may first create the sentence in your native language. Then your brain searches for the English words. Then it puts the words together. Then you check the grammar. And finally, you speak. That's a lot of work. And if you do this with every sentence, speaking English can feel exhausting. But imagine something different. You look at your phone and immediately think, "My phone." You see a glass of water. Water. You feel tired. "I'm tired." You look outside. It's raining. You don't translate. You don't stop to think about grammar. You simply connect what you see, what you feel, and what you do with English. This is what we are going to practice today. And I want you to understand something very important. Thinking in English does not mean that you have to think like a native speaker. You don't need advanced vocabulary. You don't need complicated sentences. You don't need to sound perfect. In fact, I want you to forget about perfect English for a moment. Your first goal is simple English, because simple English is the foundation of fluent English. Think about a child learning their first language. A child starts with simple words: mom, water, food, come, go. Then the child slowly starts making simple sentences. I want water. I am hungry. I am tired. The language grows naturally through daily life. You can use the same idea when learning English. Start with the English you need every day. Start with the things you see. Start with the things you do. Start with the thoughts you already have. Let's try it together right now. I want you to look around you. Don't worry about your grammar. Don't try to translate. Just look. Maybe you can see a table. Think, "This is a table." Maybe you can see a chair. Think, "This is a chair." Maybe you have a phone in your hand. Think, "I'm using my phone." Maybe you are sitting. Think, "I'm sitting." Maybe you're watching this lesson. Think, "I'm learning English." That's it. You just practice thinking in English. It may seem very simple, but this simple practice is powerful. You are teaching your brain to create a direct connection between your life and the English language. You see something, you think in English. You do something, you describe it in English. You feel something, you express it in English. Little by little, your brain becomes more comfortable with English. And the more you practice this every day, the less you need to translate. Now, I want to give you another example. Imagine that someone asks you, "What are you doing?" You don't need to give a complicated answer. You can simply say, "I'm watching a video," or "I'm learning English," or "I'm drinking coffee." These sentences are easy, but they are real. They are connected to your life. And that's why they are so useful. When you practice English with real situations, your brain starts learning English in context. You are not just memorizing words from a vocabulary list. You are actually using the language. So from now on, I want you to start noticing your thoughts. During your day, ask yourself, "What am I doing right now?" Then answer in English. Maybe you're walking. "I'm walking." Maybe you're cooking. "I'm cooking." Maybe you're cleaning. "I'm cleaning my room." Maybe you're working. "I'm working." Maybe you're relaxing. "I'm relaxing." You can practice anywhere. You can practice at home. You can practice while walking. You can practice while getting ready in the morning. You can even practice when you're alone. And here's the best part. You don't need to spend hours doing this. You can start with just 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes of thinking in simple English. 5 minutes of describing your life. 5 minutes of connecting your real world with English. That's your first step. But remember, at the beginning, it may feel strange. Your brain may try to translate. That's normal. Don't get frustrated. Don't say, I can't think in English. Instead, simply return to English. If you catch yourself translating, stop for a moment, look at the thing in front of you, and describe it with the simplest English you know. You don't need to fight your brain. You just need to train it, and training takes time. Think of it like exercise. If you go to the gym for one day, you don't become strong immediately. But if you exercise regularly, your body becomes stronger. The same thing happens with your English. Every time you think in English, you are giving your brain practice. Every time you describe your day in English, you are building a new habit. Every time you speak, even with mistakes, you are becoming more confident. So don't wait until your English is perfect. Don't wait until you know every grammar rule. Don't wait until you have a huge vocabulary. Start with what you know. Start with one word, then one sentence, then another, and slowly, your English will become more natural. Now, before we move to the next part, I want you to do one final practice with me. Look around you. Choose one object, anything, a phone, a book, a cup, a chair. Now say 3 simple sentences about it. For example, this is my phone. My phone is black. My phone is on the table. Very simple. Now choose another object and do it again. Remember, don't translate, don't overthink, don't worry about mistakes. Just think and speak, because today, you are not only learning English, you are training your brain to use English. And that is a very important difference. In the next part, we're going to take this practice even further. We're going to learn how to use the English around you to train your brain every single day. So stay with me, because once you learn how to turn your everyday life into English practice, you will realize that you don't need to wait for an English class to improve. You can practice English anytime, anywhere, and with everything around you. Now that you understand why thinking in English is so important, let's take the next step. I want you to remember one simple rule. Don't try to think in difficult English. Start with simple English. Many English learners make the same mistake. They think that if they want to speak English fluently, they need to think in long, complicated sentences. They try to use difficult vocabulary. They try to remember advanced grammar. And they try to create perfect sentences in their minds. But this makes everything harder. Your brain already has enough work to do when you are learning a new language. So don't make the process more difficult than it needs to be. Start small. Start with the English you already know. For example, look at the room around you. You don't need to think. The environment in which I am currently sitting contains several objects that are commonly used in my daily life. That's too complicated. You can simply think, this is my room. There is a table. My phone is on the table. The window is open. The room is quiet. That's enough. Simple English is still English. And the more comfortable you become with simple English, the easier it will be to build longer sentences later. So let's practice this idea together. I want you to imagine that you are sitting in your room. Look around. What can you see? Maybe you see a bed. Say, this is my bed. Maybe you see a window. Say, the window is open. Maybe you see a book. Say, this is my book. Maybe the book is on a table. Say, the book is on the table. Now look at your phone. You can say, this is my phone. My phone is in my hand. I'm using my phone. Do you see what we're doing? We're taking simple thoughts and connecting them directly to English. You don't need to think about your native language first. You don't need to translate every sentence. You simply look at something and describe it. This is one of the easiest ways to start training your brain. Now let's make the practice a little more interesting. Instead of only describing objects, let's describe colors. Look around you. Find something that is black. Maybe it's your phone. Say, my phone is black. Find something that is white. Say, the wall is white. Find something that is blue. Say, the book is blue. Now let's talk about location. Where are things? You can say, the phone is on the table. The chair is next to the table. The book is in my bag. The window is in front of me. The door is behind me. Again, these are very simple sentences, but don't underestimate them. When you practice sentences like these, you are building an important habit. You are teaching your brain to look at the world and immediately describe it in English. This is exactly what you want. You want English to become connected to your real life. Because English is not only something you study in a classroom. English is something you can use to describe the world around you. Now let's practice with feelings. How are you feeling right now? Maybe you're happy. You can think, I'm happy. Maybe you're tired. I'm tired. Maybe you're excited. I'm excited. Maybe you're nervous. I'm nervous. Maybe you're hungry. I'm hungry. Maybe you're thirsty. I'm thirsty. Don't search for complicated words. Use the words you know. The goal is to make your brain comfortable with English. Now let's talk about the weather. Look outside. What is the weather like? Maybe it's sunny. It's sunny today. Maybe it's raining. It's raining. Maybe it's cloudy. It's cloudy today. Maybe it's cold. It's cold outside. Maybe it's hot. It's hot today. You can even combine your ideas. For example, it's raining and it's cold. Or, it's sunny and I feel happy. Or, it's hot today, so I'm drinking water. Look at how we're slowly building longer sentences. We started with one word, water. Then, I'm drinking water. And now, I'm drinking water because it's hot today. This is how you can naturally improve. You don't have to jump from beginner English to advanced English overnight. You can build your English one step at a time. One word becomes a sentence. One sentence becomes two sentences. And two sentences become a complete thought. Let's try another exercise. I'm going to give you a simple word. The word is coffee. What can you say about coffee? You can say, this is coffee. I'm drinking coffee. My coffee is hot. I like coffee. I'm drinking coffee in the morning. Look at how many sentences you can create from one simple word. Now let's try another word. Phone. This is my phone. I'm using my phone. My phone is on the table. My phone is new. I'm looking at my phone. You don't need hundreds of words to start speaking. You can create many sentences with the words you already know. This is why I want you to stop thinking that your English is too basic. Basic English is your starting point, and your starting point is perfectly okay. Now I want you to try something different. Choose one object near you. It can be anything. A cup, a pen, a bag, a book, your phone. Now describe it using 5 simple sentences. Let's imagine you choose a cup. You can say, this is a cup. The cup is on the table. The cup is white. There is water in the cup. I'm drinking water. Now it's your turn. Choose your object. Take a few seconds, look at it, and start speaking. Don't worry about making mistakes. Don't stop to translate. Just use the English you know. Remember, the goal is not to create the most impressive sentence. The goal is to create a direct connection between your thought and the English language. Now let's take this idea into your daily life. Imagine you're getting ready in the morning. You wake up. What can you think? I'm awake. I'm getting out of bed. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm washing my face. I'm getting dressed. I'm ready. You are now using English to describe your real life. And because these actions happen every day, you have a new opportunity to practice every day. You can do the same thing when you're cooking. I'm in the kitchen. I'm making breakfast. I'm cutting vegetables. I'm cooking rice. I'm hungry. I'm eating lunch. Or when you're getting ready to leave your house. I'm looking for my keys. Where are my keys? Here they are. I'm putting on my shoes. I'm opening the door. I'm going outside. Do you see how easy it can be? Your daily life is full of English practice. You just need to notice it. You don't need to sit at a desk with a grammar book every time you want to practice thinking in English. You can practice while you're living your normal life. And here's an important tip. Don't translate everything. If you know the English word, use it. If you don't know the English word, don't panic. Use a simpler word. For example, maybe you don't know the word for a specific piece of furniture. That's okay. You can say, it's a thing in my room. Or, it's something I use every day. You can explain the idea with the English you already know. This is a very important skill. Fluent speakers don't always use difficult words. They know how to explain things in different ways. So if you forget a word, keep going. Don't stop your entire conversation because of one missing word. Use what you know. Keep your English moving. Now I want you to make a small promise to yourself. From today, whenever you notice something around you, try to describe it in English. When you see your phone, my phone. When you pick it up, I'm picking up my phone. When you use it, I'm using my phone. When you put it down, I'm putting my phone on the table. One object, one action, one sentence, then another. This simple habit can slowly change the way your brain uses English. At first, you may feel like you're forcing yourself. That's completely normal. But if you keep practicing, something will start to change. English will become easier to access. Your thoughts will become faster. And you will slowly begin to feel more comfortable expressing yourself. So remember today's lesson. Start simple. Don't try to think like an advanced English speaker. Think like a beginner who is making progress. Use the English you know. Describe what you see. Describe what you do. Describe how you feel. And connect your everyday life with English. Because the more you use English in your daily life, the more natural English will become. And in the next part, we're going to take this practice one step further. We're going to stop talking only about the things around you and start using English to describe your actions, your routine, and your entire day. This is where your English becomes more personal. And when English becomes part of your daily life, you don't just learn English, you start living in English. Now you know how to look around you and think about simple things in English. You can look at your phone and think, this is my phone. You can look outside and think, it's sunny. You can look at your desk and say, the book is on the table. This is a great beginning. But now, we're going to take one more step. Because if you want to speak English naturally, you need to do more than describe the things you see. You also need to describe the things you do. And this is one of the easiest ways to train your brain to think in English. Why? Because you already know what you're doing. You don't need to invent a topic. You don't need to search for something interesting to talk about. Your life is already happening. All you have to do is describe it. So let's imagine that you are starting your day. You wake up in the morning. The first thing you can think is, I'm awake. Then you get out of bed. I'm getting out of bed. You walk to the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom. You look in the mirror. I'm looking in the mirror. You brush your teeth. I'm brushing my teeth. You wash your face. I'm washing my face. You get dressed. I'm getting dressed. Do you see what we're doing? We are taking your normal morning routine and turning it into English practice. You don't need to sit down and study for an hour. You are learning while you're living your normal life. Let's continue. Imagine you're in the kitchen. You're hungry. You can think, I'm hungry. You open the refrigerator. I'm opening the refrigerator. You look inside. I'm looking for something to eat. You take out some food. I'm taking out my breakfast. You start cooking. I'm making breakfast. Maybe you're making eggs. I'm cooking eggs. Maybe you're making coffee. I'm making coffee. The coffee is ready. My coffee is ready. You sit down. I'm sitting at the table. And now you can say, I'm eating breakfast. Look at how many English sentences you just practiced. And you didn't need a classroom. You didn't need an English teacher. You didn't need a conversation partner. You simply described your own life. This is the kind of practice I want you to start doing every day. Now let's practice together. I want you to imagine that you are getting ready to leave your house. First, you need to find your keys. What can you say? I'm looking for my keys. Maybe you can't find them. My keys aren't here. You look on the table. Maybe my keys are on the table. You find them. Here they are. Now you're ready to leave. I'm putting on my shoes. I'm taking my bag. I'm opening the door. I'm leaving the house. I'm going outside. I'm walking. You are now describing your actions in real time. This is a powerful exercise because you're training your brain to connect action and English. You do something and English comes with it. You don't have to stop and translate. You simply think, I'm opening the door. I'm walking outside. I'm getting in the car. I'm going to work. Or, I'm going to school. This is how English slowly becomes automatic. Now let's imagine that you're at work or at school. Maybe you're sitting at your desk. I'm sitting at my desk. You open your computer. I'm turning on my computer. You check your messages. I'm checking my messages. You start working. I'm working. Maybe someone talks to you. I'm talking to my friend. Maybe you have a lot of work. I'm busy today. Maybe you're tired. I'm feeling tired. Again, you are using English to describe your real experience. And this is important. You don't have to wait until you know advanced English. You can start with the English you already have. Now, I want to give you a simple challenge. For the next 30 seconds, I want you to describe everything you're doing. Ready? Let's begin. I'm sitting. I'm watching this lesson. I'm listening. I'm learning English. Maybe I'm holding my phone. Maybe I'm sitting on a chair. I'm thinking about English. I'm practicing speaking. Now it's your turn. Look at what you're doing right now and describe it. Don't just listen to me. Speak out loud. Take a few seconds and start. Honey. Very good. Now let's make it a little more challenging. I want you to describe what you did earlier today. You can start with, Today, I woke up at. Then continue. I got out of bed. I had breakfast. I drank coffee. I took a shower. I went to work. I talked to my friend. I came home. I watched TV. I had dinner. I'm practicing English now. It doesn't matter if your day was exciting or boring. You can talk about anything. Maybe you stayed home all day. That's okay. You can say, today I stayed home. I cleaned my room. I watched a movie. I cooked lunch. I talked to my family. Simple sentences are enough. Now let's practice talking about the future. What are you going to do later? You can say, I'm going to have dinner. I'm going to study. I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to call my friend. I'm going to go to bed. Again, very simple. But now you're practicing three important things: your past, your present, and your future. You can talk about what you did. You can describe what you're doing. And you can talk about what you're going to do. This gives you many opportunities to practice thinking in English. Now, here's something very important. When you practice this exercise, don't try to translate every sentence. Let's say you want to talk about what you're doing. Don't first create a sentence in your native language, then translate it. Instead, look at your action. You're drinking water. Think, I'm drinking water. You're walking. I'm walking. You're opening your laptop. I'm opening my laptop. You're feeling tired. I'm tired. Try to make the connection directly. Action, English. Feeling, English. Experience, English. This is exactly the habit we want to build. And remember, you don't need to speak perfectly. Maybe your grammar isn't perfect. Maybe you don't know the exact word. That's okay. Keep going. Let's say you're doing something, but you don't know the English word. Don't stop. Try to explain it. For example, you don't know the word for a specific object. You can say, it's something I use every day. Or, it's a thing in my room. Or, I don't know the word, but it's used for. This is actually a very useful speaking skill, because even fluent speakers sometimes forget words. The difference is, they don't stop speaking. They find another way to explain their idea. You can do the same. Now I want you to create your own mini story. Imagine your morning. Start here. I woke up. Continue for 5 sentences. Then talk about what you're doing now. I'm sitting. Continue for 5 sentences. Then talk about your plans. Later I'm going to. Continue for 5 sentences. You have just created a complete English speaking practice session, and you did it using your own life. This is the secret I want you to remember. Your daily life is your English classroom. Your bedroom can be your classroom. Your kitchen can be your classroom. Your car can be your classroom. Your walk can be your classroom. You can practice English while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're getting ready, while you're walking. You can even practice while you're waiting for someone. Every moment can become an opportunity to think and speak in English. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. You don't need to wait until your English improves. You improve your English by using it. So starting today, I want you to make one small change. Whenever you do something during your day, try to describe it in English. Don't translate. Don't overthink. Just speak. If you're cooking, talk about cooking. If you're walking, talk about walking. If you're working, talk about working. If you're relaxing, talk about relaxing. And if you don't know a word, don't give up. Use the words you know. Keep your thoughts moving. Keep your English moving. Because the more you practice this way, the more comfortable your brain becomes with English. And slowly, you'll notice something amazing. You won't have to think so hard before speaking. The words will come faster. Your sentences will become easier, and you will start feeling more confident. But there is still one important step. Thinking in English is a great start. Describing your actions is even better. But if you really want to become a confident English speaker, you need to turn those thoughts into real speaking practice. In the next part, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to take your thoughts and turn them into complete spoken answers. You'll learn how to talk about your day, answer simple questions, and speak for longer without stopping. So stay with me, because now we are moving from thinking in English to speaking in English. Now you have learned how to think in simple English. You have practiced describing the things around you. You have practiced talking about your actions. You have even started describing your day in English. But now, we need to take the next step, because there is a big difference between thinking in English and speaking English. Maybe you can think, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm going to work. But when someone asks you a question, you suddenly become nervous. You know the answer in your mind, but you don't know how to say it. This happens to many English learners. And the reason is simple. They practice English silently, but they don't practice speaking enough. They read, they listen, they watch videos, they learn vocabulary, they study grammar, but they don't give their brain enough opportunities to actually produce English. And this is why today's practice is so important. I want you to take the thoughts that are already in your head and turn them into spoken English. Don't just think the sentence, say it. Don't just understand the question, answer it. Don't just listen to English, use it. This is how you build speaking confidence. So let's practice together. I'm going to ask you a simple question, and I want you to answer out loud. Don't write your answer. Don't translate it. Don't worry about making it perfect. Just speak. Ready? Here is your first question. What did you do today? Take a moment. Think about your day. Maybe you woke up early. Maybe you went to work. Maybe you went to school. Maybe you stayed at home. Now start speaking. You can say, today I woke up at 7. I had breakfast. Then I went to work. I talked to my friend. I came home in the afternoon. Now I'm learning English. That's a simple answer, but it's a real answer. And that's what matters. Now let's make your answer a little longer. You can add details. For example, today I woke up at 7. I was a little tired. I had breakfast and drank coffee. Then I went to work. Work was busy today. After work, I came home. Now I'm relaxing and practicing English. Look at what happened. We started with one simple sentence and slowly built a complete story. This is exactly how I want you to practice. Don't try to speak for 10 minutes immediately. Start with one sentence, then add another sentence, then another. One thought becomes a sentence. One sentence becomes a story. And slowly, you become more comfortable speaking. Now let's try another question. What are you doing right now? Think about your situation. Maybe you're sitting in your room. Maybe you're watching this video on your phone. Maybe you're listening with headphones. You can say, I'm sitting in my room. I'm watching an English lesson. I'm listening to the video. I'm practicing English. I'm trying to improve my speaking. Now I want you to make your own answer. Speak for at least 30 seconds. Don't stop. If you don't know what to say, look around you. Describe what you see. Talk about what you're doing. Talk about how you're feeling. Just keep speaking. Remember, the goal is not perfection. The goal is communication. Now let's talk about something that stops many English learners from speaking. It's the fear of making mistakes. Maybe you start speaking, and suddenly you think, is my grammar correct? Is my pronunciation okay? And then you stop. This happens because you're trying to be perfect while speaking. But speaking and correcting yourself at the same time is hard. It's like driving. While constantly stopping to check every small movement, you won't move very far. Grammar is important. Vocabulary is important. Pronunciation is important. But when you're practicing fluency, your first goal is to communicate your idea. If you say, yesterday I go to the market, maybe the correct sentence is, yesterday I went to the market. That's okay. You made a mistake, but you communicated your idea. Don't let one mistake stop the whole conversation. Let's practice. Choose a familiar topic. Your favorite food. My favorite food is pizza. I like it because it tastes good. I eat it with my friends. Simple sentences. Familiar topics. Your brain focuses on English, not on inventing what to say. Now, 5 questions. 30 seconds each. Where do you live? What's your daily routine? What do you do in your free time? What are you learning? Why do you want to speak English? Speak without stopping. If you forget a word, don't stop. Imagine you forget umbrella. You can say, it's something I use when it rains. You communicated your idea without knowing the exact word. That's real communication. Here's a simple formula. What? Why? Example. Do you like reading? What? Yes, I like reading. Why? It helps me relax. Example. I read before bed. Use this formula for any topic. It helps you speak longer. Build a daily habit. 1 minute a day. Talk about your day, your family, your hobbies, your plans. Speak alone, in front of a mirror, or record yourself. Now let's talk about fear. Fear of mistakes. Fear of being judged. This is the biggest barrier to fluency. Remember, making mistakes means you're learning, not failing. A child learning to speak doesn't wait for perfect grammar. They try. They get corrected. They try again. Change your mindset. Instead of I made a mistake, think, now I know what to improve. If you make an error, correct yourself and keep going. The listener cares more about understanding you than about grammar. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Confidence comes after practice, not before. It's like riding a bicycle. You try, you fall, you get back up. Say this out loud. I don't need perfect English to communicate. It's okay to make mistakes. I am learning every day. I will not be afraid to speak English. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. Compare yourself to your past self. Are you better than last month? Do you understand more? That's real progress. If someone doesn't understand you, don't switch languages. Say, what I mean is, then correct yourself. I go. I mean, I went. That's real speaking. Your accent isn't your enemy. The goal is clarity, not sounding native. Now, your daily think in English routine. Step 1. Look around you. 2 minutes. Describe objects. This is my phone. It's on the table. Step 2. Describe your actions. 2 minutes. I'm cooking dinner. Step 3. Talk about your day. 3 minutes. Morning, afternoon, evening. Nothing needs to be exciting. Step 4. Ask yourself questions. Why am I learning English? Answer directly in English. Don't translate first. Step 5. The 1-minute challenge. Pick a topic. Set a timer. Speak non-stop. If you forget a word, explain it another way. Step 6. Record and review. Listen without self-criticism. Ask what to improve. Then try again. Do this every day. In the kitchen, while walking, anywhere. Make English something you use, not just something you study. Remember, don't wait until you're fluent to think in English. Thinking in English is how you become fluent. Don't wait until you feel confident to speak. Speaking is how confidence builds. Start today. One sentence, then another. Keep going.